And so I've been thinking a lot, because I see I see myself getting married at some point in life. I genuinely believe that it is a part of my path. It's interesting because I can see my path pretty clear, like how it will turn out or what is intended for me. And also my life's purpose is something that I feel like has been pretty crystal clear in my heart. I just hadn't ever put the two together. My understanding of my purpose and the knowledge of my path. Okay, this is a complete squirrel moment, okay, right? But I just saw this pickup truck ride by, and I have this very, very unexplainable obsession and attraction to black pickup trucks, but like not just any kind of black pickup truck. Like, I mean one that looks extremely masculine. And I guess, what does that mean? Like, it's a bigger pickup truck, because some trucks are like smaller in frame and then some are larger. And I'm not talking about a 4-door, I'm talking about 2-door. They are so masculine and sexy, and it is such an attractive vehicle to me. So every time I see one, I'm just like staring in awe, and my heart is like pumping out of my chest. Anyways, so recently I've been really thinking about the way I view my body image, because I view sex as something that's sacred, very sacred. And I view my body as a space that is sacred. And I started realizing that I don't necessarily see my body as a sexual object. Like, I don't see it as something that is intended to be used for sex, like, at all. And it's so hard for me to try to engrave that thought process into my head about my body, that my sexuality is connected to my body. I view my body more as a sacred space, like a temple, a place of worship that I am within. I don't really see myself in possession of my physical form, but that I am experiencing it as a home that is manifested by a divine being greater than I am, and that nature is the master of the self and infinite with the way it chooses to use its own intelligence. I understand it to be my purpose to be one with nature, that I co-create my experience of reality with nature. And in many ways, nature is my most high self. I guess you could say the mother nature. And I fully believe that my body belongs to nature. That if my body is to be possessed or owned by any force, it would be nature herself. But I don't see it as healthy at all to take responsibility for being human, because I know that it is something I am just not capable of experiencing as ideal on my own. And I think allowing my body to be something that I see as sacred, that it is a space where nature acts on the highest deeds. I think sexuality is definitely creative energy, And I think even when it comes to my own sexuality, I don't feel like it relates to preference or that it can be defined by preference. I feel like every part of me really belongs to nature. I think that body image is so important, especially in the age of social media. Even before the age of social media, just in the age of beauty. This is where I am, where I live in my body. Marriage is also sacred to me, so I would view my body as a place where I share my divinity, share my process of self-discovery, my energy, my worth, my meaning with my partner. It's so deep. Everything has a deeper meaning for me. Sex has a deeper meaning for me. My body has a deeper meaning for me. Marriage has a deeper meaning for me. The other night, I was reading my tarot cards. I remember asking myself, oh, what is my dream lifestyle? Or what does the concept of luxury look like to me? Because as I have evolved, or as my understanding has evolved, my understanding of my nature, I view wealth, health, happiness, all of these things much differently. Much differently. Because if you would have asked me, or if I would ask myself, what was my dream lifestyle a year or two ago, I would have said fashion modeling. Absolutely. I want to be traveling the world, and I want to be walking in every fashion show, and I want to be a model. That's what I want my everyday to look like. Like, that's my dream lifestyle. But that just simply isn't true anymore, at least. I had to be really sincerely honest with myself and say, Amina, like, what is your concept of luxury based on the experiences that you've had in your life and what it is that you know about yourself? What is luxury? What is your dream lifestyle? And my answer, in its most raw form, is veganism. That is my concept of luxury. To be able to have an unlimited supply of organic, freshly produced, earth soil grown, fruits and vegetables. To have a supply of that consistently, and I'm talking about a healthy, a well-nourished vegan life. That to me is luxury, because when you've grown up living on government funded housing and food stamps, and your body doesn't respond well to certain conditions and environments and diets, it's really hard to be healthy. It's really hard to have a healthy diet or a healthy mind. Let me be more specific. It's hard to have a healthy mind, a healthy body, a healthy heart when you are able to afford vegetables consistently on a regular basis and be able to have meals that are based on plant nutrients, nature, especially for someone like me. I become victim to my own thoughts whenever I eat anything animal related. Even the products that I use, whether it's soap or shampoo or anything, I become very, very, very self-destructive with my thoughts. And when you're in government housing and you're in government funding, you aren't able to always have the healthiest conditions. It's either like eating a pack of noodles every night, in which that by itself is just already not sufficient, or you're being fed animal-based protein, or you have to eat junk food because it's cheaper than vegetables and fruits. And I'm not the kind of woman that cares about designer bags, clothes, and shoes. Like, I don't give a fuck about anything material, really. I'm just not that kind of woman anymore, at least. Like, I feel like wealth to me is not a source of income that just gives me a surplus of cash. And being rich in cash money, that isn't wealth to me. That isn't luxury to me. Having all this designer clothes and bags and shoes and having all these material possessions, that's not it for me. That doesn't fulfill me. I don't feel loved through materialism. It's hard for me to grasp any substance in materialistic affection. So I have learned not to align any of my goals or my desires or my dreams with a materialistic life. So my form of wealth would be an endless supply of fruits and vegetables at my command. Like being able to eat as many fruits and vegetables as I want daily and always have more. Because that is what I really need more than anything. And I've learned to value what I need as opposed to what I want. Or at least what I think I want. I don't care about making money either. I really don't. So I'm like, and having money, like someone having money, that doesn't impress me anymore either. So I just started thinking, I'm like, okay, let's say I am getting married, right? How would this guy be able to love me? And what is my love language? How would a man be able to make me happy? And I get it. Everyone is always all the professionals are like, no one can make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. Well, duh. I mean, once you discover what your happiness is, you will be able to look for relationships and connections that are in alignment with that and can help you obtain those things. And so I'm like, how would a man make me happy? In reality, I don't need a man at all to be in my life just for the fuck of it. I can take care of myself. I am 100% okay with being alone forever, really. But that doesn't always work for the highest good. I've learned, my desire for solitude, I don't think it aligns with my purpose, even though it's something that I deeply enjoy. I'm like, okay, if the universe were to send me a husband, how would he be able to love me? How would I know that he loves me? How would our relationship make me happy? Like, what would that look like? And so I start thinking, I would fall, okay, head over heels for a man who is conscious about the type of food that he gives me. And like a man who loves me by feeding me vegan food. Like, in all seriousness though, I really think that that's my love language. Like a man who is adamant about feeding me fruits and vegetables daily, and nourishing and nurturing my mind and my body and my spirit in that way. I think that that is the very least, not even the least, but that's it. Like, that's the only thing I would ever really expect for a man to do. And even then, he doesn't even have to do that. But I feel like a man who is trying to pursue me romantically, that would be how he would win my heart over. Baby boy always got some fruits and vegetables that are fresh and organic, and he's like, dominant and all masculine with telling me to eat them. Like, eat your fruits and vegetables. That's love. That's love, man. I don't want you to buy me all that fancy stuff. I mean, you can if you want. That's on you. But I feel like in its most simple form, I think the love that a man gives, even though I'm saying fruits and vegetables, I feel like I can't expect a man to be able to know how to make me happy. But I think he can know how to be fatherly. And I think that I would be completely fulfilled in a relationship with a man who is conscious about what he's penetrating my mind with, what he's feeding my body, what he's putting into me. Like, because I already said that I'm one with nature, and that I see nature as all that I am. I believe my body is in the possession of nature. And so the only thing that I see as blessed and in alignment with my purpose of being one with nature is to consume nature, period. And this is why veganism, having fruits and vegetables and all of that, why that would be my dream life, because I just simply have not had that as a little girl growing up. I would rather not indulge in any of society's systems right now because I believe they are imbalanced. I prefer to walk a path that is kind of paved for me instead of doing anything in order to have the means, period. Means of getting what I want, means of having my own, means of being independent or whatever that is, Because just because I'm striving for independence, I feel like doesn't necessarily make that a healthy choice for me or a healthy life. I am a full-time mom. I mother myself 24/7. Like, I have found that I can't rely on anyone to make me happy or to help me be sane or to do any of those things. I would just rather not. I feel as though it is the healthiest for me to be a mother to myself. And so that is what I feel like is ultimately my life's like purpose in a higher definition, to mother myself. Like, my life depends on it. To mother myself like I am my own child, like I am all that I have. And daily, I do everything that I can to be the mother that I know I need. because I'm with myself 24/7. No one can be me. No one can know what it's like to be me. No one knows what my thoughts sound like. No one knows the experiences that I have. No one feels the emotions that I feel. And I am the only one who knows all of those things. And even if I can express it to somebody in full detail, they'll still not know what it feels like to be me. And I understand myself to have the gift of maternity, of like being maternal, of having a motherly essence. And I take that very seriously because I think motherhood is a gift. I don't think any woman can just have a child and then call herself a mother. No, I think motherhood is a calling. Seriously. I think it is a gift, like a talent, and that it's something you have to accept. Really, I don't think anyone can just up and choose to be a mom. No, I really think it is a practice. It is a way of life. I really think motherhood is a cure, seriously, for mental disorders and a lot of things that human beings go through that cause them to completely destroy themselves. I feel like can be cured by a woman who simply answers the call of motherhood. What the calling is, I've come to understand, is the prevention of loneliness, lonesomeness. That it is a calling that requires one to prevent the absence of a companion in another person's life, whether that be their biological child, whether that be their significant other, or a friend, or a soulmate, or their self. But it is, again, a calling that requires, I feel like, a woman to do everything in her power to be present in someone's life, and not just physically. When I say the prevention of loneliness and lonesomeness, I mean not just physically being there, but being present, having a presence that someone can feel, that they can feel that someone is there with them in their mind, that someone else is with them in their heart, that someone else is with them in their spirit, that they aren't alone, because loneliness, I guarantee you, is the number one cause of all trauma. Someone feeling alone that causes them to do something that is destructive, harmful, abusive, ignorant in some way, you know. If a person feels alone, it's easy for them to feel nothing. And it's easy to do anything. It's a lower awareness, or I want to say more like a lower conscious experience of the self. Feeling lonely and like feeling surrounded by no one. It's a very dark space for a human to be in. No matter the age. And I feel like the call of motherhood is something that I genuinely believe would cure a lot of dysfunction that exists within humankind. And if people saw it as a calling, you know, and not just a physical thing of being pregnant, conceiving a child physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, allowing that child to not ever again feel an absence of your presence. Everything that I feel like I've learned about motherhood has been from studying my own nature, and how nature has always made me feel seen and heard. more than any other force or any other being. Nature I have always admired nature, and I've always wanted to be like nature. I kind of had this obsession. I mean, it's evolved, so it's no longer like a fascination, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's more like a belief system, a faith now. But before, I was just so in love with how nature as a force was always able to be with me, that I could always feel the presence of the earth, the Mother Earth, Gaia, nature, Mother Nature. I could always feel a spirit greater than I am present with me, letting me know that we are one in mind, in body, and in soul. And I think that is really the true definition of motherhood. And I think that that's also a part of the calling, like the guidance of nature, guiding a human being to stay in alignment with their true nature and helping them refrain from doing or becoming anything that is contrary to the ordinary course of nature, becoming anything contrary to who they naturally are. In this life, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it takes real dedication to guide. It does. It really does, because the world that we live in is very convincing and persuasive and also deceptive. So the mind is always vulnerable to external impressions, order, balance, harmony. These are all laws that nature is consistently putting into full effect. Let's say I had a partner, it would be the same exact thing. That same mothering, I would view my partner as a part of my calling, because it is a life calling. It is a thing, it is a reason why a human being would be created, would be manifested, this concept of motherhood, and that the world needs mothers. Human beings need maternal energy. Femininity doesn't always mean motherhood. Just because a woman acts like a woman doesn't mean she is a mother. I've come to learn that true love from any woman is maternal energy, especially if you are a man, like a husband and a wife. I genuinely believe the highest form of love between a husband and a wife, for the woman, for the wife, I feel like, is a mother and son. And the opposite would be for the husband, a father and daughter, that they would love each other as a co-parent to their connection. That ultimately them coming together as one would be the answer to a calling. Each of them, the husband, a calling for fatherhood, and for the wife, a calling to motherhood. And it is them both being willing to take on this greater path that manifests their union, that their connection is intended to be of service to something greater. And I have been studying, like the relationship between a husband and a wife for a really, really long time. I have journals and journals and journals and so much art that I've used to document my growth and my thought process. That's really what a lot of my music is. The music and the poetry and all of the videos and really on my page have been me just increasing my awareness of the ideal marriage, the nature of marriage between a man and a woman, a divine masculine and feminine, what their connection looks like, feels like, is like in its most high state.